Hey Jason, so we hadn't posted for a while. I started watching Boondocks and that show's kind of addicting, so sorry. You haven't posted for I think 3 Sundays, so that means I owe you 3 challenges, plus you still have to do the 4 vlogs, which you said you were going to do, and you have to do a round around your school in your underwear. So your 3 new challenges are: number 1, I want you to try and pick up a girl while not using English. Number 2, I want you to see how many starbursts you can fit in your mouth at one time. And number 2, I want you to try beatboxing in your next video. So those are 5 challenges you gotta do. Get them done, man. So today I was gonna do a video about my bike, because I got a new bike from my uncle Nigel, who's in Ottawa. It was a huge deal. Thanks so much, Nigel, if you're watching this. And I got a new bike and I finally went to Toronto on Tuesday to go pick it up. Obviously I'm in Waterloo, so I got it all the way back. And then Wednesday morning I got stolen. So I do not have a bike anymore. I was gonna like get a new handlebar and like paint it and stuff, but well, I don't have a bike to do that anymore, so I can't do that, which kind of sucks. So bike thieves are the worst. I think we can all agree that bike thieves are the worst. The reason why bike thieves are the worst more than like other thieves is because I feel like if you're gonna steal something, either steal something that isn't worth much, like steal like a chocolate bar, because like that doesn't really affect who you're stealing it from, or stealing something that's actually expensive, like steal a car, or steal like rob a bank. Steal a bike just like gets you what, $500, and it really hinders the person you're stealing it from. I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna steal something that's worth. I also found out recently that a thief and a robber are very different. A thief steals, whereas a robber takes something and then holds it for ransom. So it really are bike thieves and not bike robbers, unless they gave it back to me for some amount of money, which I don't think is going to happen. What I am going to do today is a second video about beatboxing. A friend recommended to me recently that I should start Snapchatting my beatboxing more, which I've started to do. If you don't have me on Snapchat, you can add me. My name is just Sanjay. Apparently I'm the first one on Snapchat, so good for me. Today I want to talk about beatboxing. The thing I want to especially talk about is people always think that it's really hard to do. Yeah, I mean there's some things that like you can't do unless you practice a lot, but I also feel like people try and like throw really complex sounds in there just to make it sound fancy, which I don't think you need to do. In fact, I only think there are 3 sounds you need to do, all of which are pretty simple to be able to call yourself a beatboxer. And those 3 sounds are so the first of those 3 sounds is the or the bass. Any beginner beatboxer will know that that sound comes from the letter B, as in boot. So if you're saying boot and you want to just isolate that B sound. Now the biggest thing I see a lot of beginners doing that kind of inhibits their sound is they'll put too much air through. So instead of doing, they'll do and you really want to try and control and put as little amount of air through your lips when it comes out, while also keeping your lips fairly tight. And even with that just one sound, you can make a beat. So the second sound we're going to do is the t or the hi-hat. There's kind of 2 ways you can do a hi-hat. There's TS, or there's just the T. I think the biggest thing that you need to focus on when using a hi-hat is knowing when to use it. Some beginner beatboxers won't use it at all, and they'll just use the bass and the snare, and some will use it too much. And you have to find the right mix, because it's just as much as part of the beat as any other. Similarly, even with these 2 notes, you're not really having a snare, which is usually what the beat is based around. You can still have a perfectly fine beat. The hi-hat is also what any jazz beats are built around. Finally, the third sound, which is probably the hardest out of the 3, it's the snare or the K sound. Now there are actually 2 different ways to do the snare. There's the easy way and then there's the proper way. I'm not going to teach you the proper way because it's a lot harder, and for someone who doesn't really care about beatboxing, it's not really that important. The proper way involves suction in the back of your mouth, and it's more like a but the K I'm going to teach you is literally just the letter K. It's pronounced the same way as you would say cat. It's always hard to explain what you're doing with your mouth as a beatboxer, because I think a lot of beatboxers don't really think about it once they get to a half-decent stage. But if you want to imagine this is your tongue, if you want to imagine this is the roof of your mouth, this is the front of your mouth, this is like where food goes in, what you want to do is get the back of your tongue to create a suction with the top of your mouth at the back. And the sound actually comes from when you pull that away. Similarly to the bass, this is a sound a lot of people use too much air in. So they'll do or something like that, when it should really just be Now you'll have noticed when I did that just now, that I was doing that. That sounds impressive, but it's really just the same three sounds. It's similarly in something that sounds more complex than it is and it's literally just, it's just going back between the T's and the B's. Something I find a lot of beginners do is they'll try and learn too many songs without perfecting one of their songs. As a drummer, I always learned to just practice one sound over and over until I had it perfect. So I can do, which a lot of beatboxers can't do. Practicing the double bass is also really important. A standard practice could be Anyways, I hope this was kind of helpful for you, Jason. I look forward to seeing your video and like all of your challenges, and I'm most excited about that project we're working on this summer, which we might reveal on this channel sometime soon. But until then, I'll catch you on the funny pages.